Let's look at this past questions on root of quadratic equation. All right, so let's find the sum and then the product from the equation that we are given. Okay, so what is our quadratic equation? It's 3s squared minus 5s minus 1 equal to 0. So our a is what? Is 3. Our b is -5. Our c is -1. Okay, so now we can find our sum of roots, okay, of this root, which is alpha plus beta. And alpha plus beta is minus b on a. And minus, what is our b? -5 on what is our a? On 3. Alright, so minus will make it 5 on 3. So our sum, alpha plus beta, is 5 on 3. Alright, alpha plus beta is minus b over a. That's the sum of this root. Okay, then we come to the product. What is the product? Alpha beta is c on a. Okay, so what is our c? -1. What is our a? Our a is 3. So our alpha beta is -1 on 3. Alright, so this is what we have for alpha plus beta and then alpha beta. And we are going to solve for an equation whose roots are alpha minus 1 over beta and beta minus 1 over alpha. So if you are going to solve for an equation whose roots are this, these are the two roots, this and that, it means that we have to find the sum of these roots and then the product of the roots. Because for us to get the quadratic equation, how do you, if you are given the roots, how do you get the quadratic equation? That is x squared minus the sum of roots multiplying x plus what? Product of roots, and that to be equal to 0. So if you are supposed to find the equation whose roots are this and that, then we have to find the sum of this root and we have to find what? The product. So that when we get the sum of this root and then we get the product of the root, then we can substitute into our formula and then get our equation. Alright, so that is how we are going to solve this question. Okay, so the sum of the roots will give us what? We are going to add the two, so alpha minus 1 over beta. So these are the two, so plus beta minus 1 over alpha. So this is the sum of the root, the two roots, alpha minus 1 over beta plus beta minus 1 over alpha. Okay, so we can see that we can get alpha plus beta here. So we can have alpha plus beta and then minus 1 over beta and then minus 1 over alpha. So that is what we have here. Alpha plus beta is here, then minus 1 over beta minus 1 over alpha. So we can have our alpha plus beta, which is what? 5 over 3. But we have to deal with this one, or we have to work with this one. So how are we going to work with this one? Okay, so what we can do is that 1 over alpha okay, we should take notice that if you want to put all this, okay, let me write it in such a way that before we find the LCM we get the understanding. So 1 over beta plus 1 over alpha. So that when we get something like that, we have it is minus, so that then when we move the bracket we'll get back the same thing. This will give me minus 1 over beta and then minus 1 over alpha. Okay, so that at the end of the day I'm getting alpha plus beta minus, let me find the LCM. What will be the LCM of this? That is beta alpha or alpha beta. I multiply. Beta will go here, remaining alpha, so alpha plus. Alright. Then alpha will also go here. What? Alpha will go here, remaining beta times 1. So we have what? Beta also here. Alright. So we also have beta there. Okay, so we have, when you find the exam, alpha beta, you get your alpha beta here, beta goes here, remaining alpha times 1, alpha goes here, remaining beta times 1. So you have alpha plus beta over alpha beta. Alright, so we can get our sum of the roots as this. And what are we going to do? We are going to substitute the values. So we have alpha beta here, which is this, alpha plus beta, and then we have alpha beta. So we substitute the values and then we work it out so that we can get the sum of what? Of the roots. After that, we find the product of the roots and then we are good to go. Alright? Okay. So let's do substitution. Alpha plus beta will give us what? 5 over 3. Alright. Then minus alpha plus beta 5 on 3 all divided by alpha beta, which is minus 1 over 3. Okay, so this is what we have here. Okay, so we have 5 on 3 minus, okay, 5 on 3 times we multiply. So as because this is a denominator, we reciprocate and times minus 3 on 1. Okay, so this is what we are going to have. So we have a fractional denominator, so you multiply and then we reciprocate. Okay. So we have 5 on 3 minus, so 3 can take off 3. Alright, so we have minus. And if 3 take off 3, what is going to happen here? Here will be negative 1. Alright, so 5 will multiply negative 1 to give me negative 5. So we have 5 on 3 plus 5. And 5 on 3 plus 5 is going to give us, will give us 20 on 3. So we have 20 divided by 3. Okay, so the sum of the roots will give us 20 over 3. 20 over 3. So simple. Okay, so now we are done with the sum. Let's go to the product. So product of roots. So we are going to multiply. So as we multiply, let's see what we are going to get. Alpha times beta will give me alpha beta. Alright. Okay. Then alpha times minus 1 over alpha. So alpha times minus 1 over alpha, it means that, okay, let me write it. So alpha will multiply 1 to give me what? Minus alpha over alpha. You see that? So alpha times 1 minus, so alpha times will give alpha over the alpha. Then let me come to the minus this one to 1 over beta times, so beta over beta. Alright, 1 times beta is beta over beta. Then minus minus will be plus. So 1 times 1 will give me 1. Beta times alpha will give me alpha beta. Okay, so this is what we are going to have. But let's try and simplify and then see what we are going to get. Alright, so we can have alpha beta and then minus 1 plus 1 over alpha beta. Alright, so let me try and simplify. Finally, I'm going to have alpha beta and then minus 1 give me what? Let me bring the other one. Plus 1 over what? Alpha beta. Minus 1 will give me minus 2. Okay, so now because of what I have, I can do my substitution. What is my alpha beta? I had my negative 1 on 3 plus 1 over the same alpha beta minus 1 on 3 minus 2. Okay, so this was going to give us minus 1 on 3. So this is 1, so When you reciprocate, we come on minus 3 on 1 minus 2. Alright? So this is 1 over minus 1 on 3. So it will be like 1 times minus 3 on 1, which will be the same thing as we have here. So let me use the calculator and then we see if we can get our answer. So we have minus 1 on 3, alright, plus minus 3 minus 2, and that is going to give us minus 16 on 3, alright. So let's continue. Okay, so we are going to write an equation whose roots are going to be what? Alpha minus 1 over beta, and then beta minus 1. We are able to find the sum and the product. Alright, so how am I going to write my equation? S squared minus sum of roots. What is the sum of the roots? That is 20 over 3 x plus the product. What is the product? Minus 16 on 3 equal to 0. So S squared minus the sum plus the product equal to what? 0. So let me remove the bracket. So they have S squared minus 20 on 3x minus plus minus, so minus 16 on 3 equal to 0. So we have this. So this is the equation. S squared minus 20 on 3x minus 16 on 3 equal to 0. So let's get rid of the denominator so that we can write the equation at 3s squared multiplied by 3 minus 20x minus 16 equal to 0. So this is the equation whose roots are alpha minus 1 over beta and beta minus 1 over alpha. 3x squared minus 20x minus 16 equal to 0. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so the B, find the value of alpha beta. So we are finding the value of alpha beta 1 over alpha square plus 1 over what? Beta square. Okay, so we are supposed to find the value of alpha beta and then 1 over alpha square plus 1 over beta square. So alright, so let's see, we know our alpha beta is minus 1 on 3, but it's left with the alpha plus beta. Or so what we are going to do is to make sure that we simplify here. Alright, we are going to find a common denominator for it, or we are going to write as a single fraction so that we can just get our answer and then we solve. Okay, so let's do that. So we have alpha beta. So there is nothing wrong with the outside, but there is a work to be done, there's a work to be done of what is in the bracket. So we have alpha square beta square. Alright, so alpha square will go here, remaining beta square times 1 beta square plus beta square will go here, beta square, remaining alpha square times 1 alpha square. Alright, so what are we going to have? Alpha beta, then we have what? Let me write it as alpha square plus beta square, the same thing, alpha square plus beta square over, this can give us alpha beta all squared. So that we can write our alpha beta value there. But what is alpha square plus beta square? So we learned that, so this we can have alpha beta. We learned that alpha square plus beta square can give us what? Alpha plus beta all squared minus 2 alpha beta. All divided by alpha beta all squared. So this is what we are going to have. Okay, so if you like, I can put it in a bigger bracket like this. Okay, so we learned that alpha square plus beta square is what? Alpha plus beta all squared minus 2 alpha beta minus 2 alpha beta. Alright, so now we have gotten whatever we need. We can go on and simplify. So we are going to have what? What is alpha beta? Alpha beta is minus 1 on 3 into bracket. Alpha plus beta will give us what? 5 over 3 all squared minus 2. Alpha beta minus 1 on 3. All divided by alpha beta all squared. That is minus 1 on 3 all squared. I believe that from here you have understood. You have alpha square plus beta square to alpha plus the whole square minus 2 alpha beta. So alpha plus beta will give me 5 over 3 whole square minus 2. Alpha beta is this over alpha beta this square. Okay, then we can continue and simplify. So we are going to have, okay, minus 1 on 3 into brackets 5 over 5 square is what? 25. 3 square is 9. Okay, minus, okay, so minus 1 will give us plus, so plus 2 over 3. So we are going to get this one as 5 square as 25, 3 square as 9. Then minus 2 times minus 1 over 3. Minus 2 times minus 1 give me what? Positive 2 on 3. Alright, then we will have minus 1 squared to be 1, and then 3 squared give us 9. So we are going to have this. Okay, I think I have minus 1 on 3. So let's do 25 on 9 plus 2 on 3. So 25 on 9 plus 2 on 3 will give us 31 on 9. So we have 31 on 9. Okay, so we can write it as this. 31 on 9. Then we multiply and reciprocate 9 over 1. Okay, here I cancel for 25 over 9 plus 2 on 3 is 31 on 9 times, this is a fractional denominator, so we can multiply and then we reciprocate with 9 over 1. Alright, so that 9 can take off 9. So I have minus 1 on 3 times 31 over 1 is 31. So minus 1 on 3 times 31 is going to minus 1 on 3 times 31 will give us a minus 31 on 3. So minus 31 on 3. So finally we have been able to get our answer. So minus 31 on 3. If you like, you can write as what? A mixed fraction as minus 10 whole number 1 on 3. So minus 10 whole number 1 divided by 3, or minus 31 on 3. So this is the solution to our question. Alright, I believe this is clear. Make sure to subscribe and then you like our page as well. See you on another question on root of quadratic equation. Bye bye.